What's going on, guys? This is Brandon Draper, better known as the Motivational King, and today we're going to talk about level 5 leadership, achieving greatness as a leader. Now, everybody and their mother, I don't care if you're a major corporation, organization, you want to be at the top. Alright, but the only way that you're going to be at the top is what? You got to have strong leaders. You have to have leaders of greatness. So, if you are not a good leader, 9 times out of 10 your organization is not a great organization. Your company is not the best. So let's figure out how we can turn your organization, turn you personally into a great leader, and therefore take your organization to another level. Alright? So, let's talk about it. Now, level 5 leadership, achieving greatness as a leader. Now, let's talk about where it comes from. Now, it comes from one of the greats of greats. We call him a GOAT. Greatest of all times. What is a GOAT? That's a GOAT, okay? So, Jim Collins created this concept where he talked about level 5 leadership. What he did was he studied all these different organizations and businesses, and he figured out the leaders have a unique distinction about them, that these people were level 5. Level 5 meaning the top. They epitomized everything what it was about being a great leader. So now the question is, what are we talking about? How can you follow what I'm talking about? Number one, a lot of the tools and things that I talk about comes from an app. It's called Mind Tools. So I gather a lot of this information from Mind Tools, and I bring it to you, and I break it down in a way that you can understand as an individual, and then you can explain this to your organization. So the first thing we're going to talk about is level 1. What exactly is level 1? Okay, let's talk about highly capable individual. Now, when I say highly capable individual, meaning the individual that knows certain things and is able to complete certain things. So you as a leader, number one, you must edify what you ask your people to do, right? So meaning that if you're asking someone to do something, it's not because you don't want to do it, but it's because you're delegating what needs to be done. But at the same time, if it does not work or they don't understand, you're able to break it down and explain it to them. So you're capable of doing the task yourself, but now you're delegating it. Right? So you got to be highly capable, and you have to hire highly capable people. We're going to move on to the next thing. That falls right into hiring the right people. So level 2 is contributing team members. All right? 1, you as a leader have to contribute to the team. I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to contribute to the team. You can't just sit there with your feet crossed, kick back, relax, and expect your people just to perform. But let's talk about contributing team members, meaning that everyone brings something to the pot. Okay, so you're cooking up something, you got to put ingredients in, so everyone has to bring those ingredients to make the team a success. So number 1, you got to be able to hire the right people. All right, so let's break it down. I believe that there's 3 types of people, but then I'm gonna add 1 to it. The first type of person, you got A, B, and C. So you got A1, B2, C3, and the last one is D type people. Alright? And when I was coming up in school, we break it down in like the grade school effect. My mom used to say D is for dummy. Alright? So you don't wanna have a bunch of dummies on your team. And I don't mean intellectually, meaning people that just are duds. They're not gonna do anything, they're not gonna perform outside of the comfort zone. And let me tell you something, when you hire those type of people in your organization, they're gonna act exactly like a dummy. They're not going to do anything. They're going to sit back, relax, and kick their feet back, and your organization ultimately is going to fail because they're not contributing to the team. Now, you as a leader, you're an A person, right? So you want to have other A people with you. Now, a lot of this, what I'm talking about today, comes from an interesting book that I read by Darren Harding. It's called The Roller Coaster Effect. So think of the roller coaster, the entrepreneur roller coaster, right? So the entrepreneur roller coaster, and Darren Harding talks about that. Mind you, Darren Harding, great, awesome book. And I keep talking about it because I mean so many entrepreneurs need to read that book, and I don't get paid by putting that out there, but I'm just saying it's an awesome book for you to read and understand the different paradigms that you have to travel to in becoming a strategic leader. So what he talks about in that book is A, B, and C leaders. So you got to be an A, right? I mean, you got to be A, you got to be the best. You got to be the upper echelon, right? Then you got B, C, and D. Now, what happens is that you have to hire A people, and I'm going to explain to you why. And you're probably saying, well, man, how can I just hire A people? You gotta attract what you are. So if you're A, it's a lot easier for you to attract A-type people, right? But if you attract B people, you hire B people, what are B people going to do? B people are going to hire C people, and C people are going to hire D people. Why? Okay, why would a B person hire a C person? Well, a B person not going to hire an A, and they don't want to hire a B because they don't want to be outshined. They don't want to take their position. So they're going to hire someone that's not a threat to them, right? But when you hire an A person like yourself, you're not afraid of a challenge, because someone that pushes you out of your comfort zone that may be just as capable or more than you, then that means that you, my friend, have to step your game up. So A people are very competitive, right? And they're going to hire other A people to stay on their A game. B people are going to hire C people so that they can continue to shine as a B, because they're not trying to excel or be an A. Woo! I'm diving deep into this. And Jim Collins, I mean, he's awesome in the way he broke this thing down. Let's talk about the next level. Level 3 is competent manager. What does that mean? Meaning that if you are the leader and you're hiring different managers within your organization, what do you have to do? You have to have managers in place. These managers is what's going to pass the information up to you. But they got to be competent. They got to know their job. You got to know their job. You got to give them a job description to let them know what you expect from them, right? And if they know what you expect from them, then they know what they expect from you, all right? But there's certain things that you have to do as a leader to take it to the next level. That's why we're talking about levels of leadership. Level 5 leadership. Alright, so let's talk about the next thing. Alright, 4, effective leader. What is an effective leader? Everyone wants to be a leader, but not everyone's effective at doing it. So you got to know what your strengths and weaknesses are. Alright, so you got to be an effective leader. An effective leader, number 1, has to communicate with the team. Alright? Your team has to be able to effectively communicate with you. That's a part of being an effective leader, that you're keeping the communication open. People know what your intent is. People know what the mission is. People know the flow, the ebb and flow of everything that's going on in your business. This is the most important thing. And that's why a lot of people fail in business, is because they don't understand how to be an effective leader. They don't know that this information is available. Understand that you may not be where you want to be as a leader, but you can get information and start sharpening your skills so that you can lead people. Because at the end of the day, your organization, your business is only going to be as strong as you are as a leader. So how effective or non-effective you are is going to be dependent on the survival or decline of your business. Bottom line. And I mean, there's no jokes around that. And I may hurt someone's feelings, but what I'm telling you is that all these things are not something that's impossible or hard for you to reach. The only thing you have to do is learn the information and keep on implementing practice, and that's how you become an effective leader. There's no secret to it. Crack open a book, go to a seminar, go to a lecture, go to something. I mean, I have plenty of them all throughout the year. I have lunch and learns and things that we can break this stuff down and you can understand. That's what the Start Thinking Forward model is about. Now, let's talk about the last one, guys. Let's talk about the last one. Level 5, great leader. Okay? There's a book. Jim Collins wrote another book. It's called Good to Great. And he analyzes all these different companies and how some were good and how some became great. Now, the difference between good and great is a big difference. Okay? It's a big difference. Good meaning that you may have some businesses open today. And I'm not trying to throw anyone, but there's some companies out there that we can compare to a lot of different companies, especially when it comes to sales. Let's compare Kmart to Walmart. Okay? Kmart is a good company, but for some reason they didn't quite have the edge to make them great. So we got a lot more Walmarts than we have Kmarts. Why? Why is that? What was it about the two organizations? They pretty much offered the same products, but the difference was the type of leadership they had backing them. Alright? And we don't have enough time to dive into all the minutiae of that, but understand there's a difference between being good and being great. And the great is what separates you from the pack. So if you want to take your organization to the part of being great and also being phenomenal over time, that is what's going to help you survive. Let's look at another company comparison when we talk about leadership. Let's look at Apple in comparison to IBM. Do I even need to say more? Everyone has an iPhone in their pocket. Everyone has an iPad. Okay, where's IBM right now? And that's not to shun them and say they had any inferior products or anything, but what it was the leadership and how the leader saw the vision for the company, and the leader hired a bunch of A people that challenged and mold the mindset and the culture of the company, which now the result is we have a phenomenal products and services available to everyday average people. So the consumer decided what was best, and it was based off of leadership, not even product. You think about the iPod, right? So think about the iPod. When the iPod first came out, it said 1,000 songs in your pocket, right? 1,000 songs in your pocket. There was already products out there. All right, there were already products out there that did similar to the same thing. So why did the iPod succeed? It was because of leadership, guys. Leadership made a difference in the company. So, level 5 leadership, achieving greatness as a leader. All the strategies that we talked about today is something that can be learned. Attend one of our seminars. Read my book, Becoming Who You Should Be Despite Who You Are. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are today. It's ultimately about becoming who you should be in the midst of the storm. This is the Motivational King. I'll see you on the other side.